People think regret comes from failure. Mine came from doing everything right for too long. That's the part no one warns you about. At this age, memories don't come back in order. They come back with weight, and some of them don't let you sleep anymore. I didn't lose my family in one dramatic moment. I lost them 5 minutes at a time, over years. I'm 77 years old, and I can tell you the exact moment my life quietly went wrong, even though I didn't understand it at the time. It wasn't dramatic, no shouting, no doors slamming, no single bad decision that ruined everything at once. It was a moment so ordinary I didn't even notice it passing. I'm telling you this now because time has narrowed. The days feel shorter, the future feels thin. And when you reach this age, the truth doesn't wait for you anymore. It just sits there. Most mornings I wake up before the sun, not because I want to. My body just does that now. I sit on the edge of the bed and listen to the quiet. The house makes small sounds, pipes cooling, the refrigerator humming, the floor settling. It's a lonely kind of quiet. Not painful exactly, just empty. I think about the people who used to fill it. I don't tell this story to be forgiven. I don't need understanding. I'm telling it because I don't have much time left to tell anything honestly. When I was younger, I thought life went wrong with big mistakes. Affairs, addiction, ruin. That's what movies show you. But that's not how it happened for me. For me, it went wrong on a Tuesday afternoon when I chose to stay late at work instead of going home. That sounds harmless. It was harmless. That's the problem. I was in my early 30s, maybe 34. I had a decent job, not a dream job, but steady. A desk, a title that sounded important enough when I said it out loud. I had a wife then. We were still learning how to talk to each other without keeping score. We had a small house that always smelled faintly like laundry detergent. There were toys on the floor, shoes by the door, noise, life. That afternoon, my supervisor asked if I could stay and finish a report. Just another hour or two, he said. Nothing urgent, but it would help. I remember checking my watch. I remember thinking, this is what responsible people do. I remember thinking, I'll make it up later. So I stayed. I didn't know that was the moment. I thought it was just a choice, one of thousands. I came home late. The house was quieter than usual. Dinner had been eaten, dishes stacked. My wife was tired, not angry, just tired. She said, "We missed you." Not accusing, just stating it. I said, "I know," and I meant it, but I also thought it didn't really matter, not in the long run. That became a pattern. Work first, then home. Apologies folded into routine. I told myself I was building something, security, stability, a future. And I was, in a way, but I was also training myself to be absent without realizing it. The thing about small choices is they don't feel like choices. They feel like obligations. They feel like being an adult. I missed a school play once. I told myself it was okay. Kids don't remember those things. I missed a birthday dinner. We celebrated the next night instead. I missed a conversation that might have mattered because I was tired, because I said, "Can we talk about this later?" Later became a habit. Years passed without anything breaking, which made me believe nothing was breaking at all. My marriage didn't explode, it thinned. Conversations got shorter, silences got longer. We became polite roommates who shared history. I noticed it, but I didn't name it. Naming things makes them real, and I didn't feel ready to deal with something real. I told myself we were just busy, that everyone goes through this phase, that things would settle down. There was always another season coming where I'd slow down, another promotion, another milestone, another finish line. I didn't realize there is no finish line, just days. When the kids grew older, they stopped waiting by the door. They stopped asking what time I'd be home. They learned who I was by my absence, and I helped teach them that. That's a hard sentence to say out loud, but it's true. I was reliable in the wrong ways, present on paper, missing in practice. I don't say this to punish myself. At my age, punishment doesn't change anything. I say it because this is how it happens. Slowly. Quietly. Reasonably. My wife and I drifted without a dramatic reason to stop drifting. No betrayal, no screaming matches, just two people who stopped reaching at the same time. When she finally said she felt alone, I was surprised. That still embarrasses me. I said, "I'm right here." She looked at me for a long moment and said, "You always are. That's the problem." We didn't divorce right away. We tried, in the way tired people try. But effort without presence doesn't hold much weight. Eventually, she moved out. Not angrily, gently. We divided things with care. Furniture, photos, holidays. We were kind to each other. That somehow made it hurt more. After that, life didn't collapse. It continued. Work still needed me, bills still arrived, mornings still came. That's the dangerous part. You think disaster announces itself, but sometimes it just blends in. I kept working. I told myself it was easier than sitting alone with my thoughts. I told myself I'd figure out the rest later. Later is a word that sounds generous when you're young. It sounds cruel when you're old. The turning point came years after that Tuesday afternoon, not when my marriage ended, not when the kids moved away. It came when my oldest son called me from a hospital parking lot. He said, "Dad, Mom's gone." I don't remember sitting down, but I must have. The floor was cold. There was nothing left to say between us then, only silence thick with everything we hadn't repaired. At the funeral, people talked about her warmth, her presence, how she made people feel seen. I realized she had given that to everyone else when I stopped noticing it. That's when clarity arrived. Not loud, not cruel, just undeniable. I saw my life as a series of reasonable delays that added up to a permanent distance. I saw how often I assumed love could wait, how often I treated presence like a renewable resource. Some things can't be fixed once they're quiet for too long. My children are good people. They call, they visit when they can, they're polite, loving even. But there's a layer that never rebuilt. They don't ask me for advice. They don't lean on me the way I leaned on my own father. They learned early how to stand without me. That's not something you can apologize your way out of. Now, at 77, my world is small. Not in a tragic way, just in an honest one. A few friends left, most gone. A house that echoes. Photographs that don't age the way faces do. I still have moments of gratitude. Coffee tastes good. Sunlight through the window still surprises me sometimes. But gratitude doesn't erase truth. It lives beside it. What's gone is gone. Time doesn't negotiate. I don't get to go back and choose differently on that Tuesday afternoon, or the hundreds like it. I don't get to sit at that dinner table again with the same people in the same way. That's not bitterness, that's reality. If I'm speaking to you now, it's not to warn you. Warnings feel arrogant when you've already lived this long. It's just to tell you what I wish I had understood. Life doesn't usually fall apart. It fades out of focus while you're busy looking elsewhere. Love doesn't leave suddenly. It waits quietly to see if you'll notice it staying. I thought being needed at work meant I mattered. I thought providing was the same as being present. I was wrong. Not foolish, not malicious, just wrong. If this means something to you, sit with it. You don't have to do anything dramatic. Just notice where your attention goes when no one is asking for it. Notice what you assume will still be there later. I don't have advice, only hindsight. And hindsight is a heavy thing to carry alone. I don't know how much time I have left. No one does, really. But you feel it differently at this age. I move slower. I think slower. But the truth comes faster now. My life didn't go wrong all at once. It went wrong quietly while I was doing what made sense. And now, in the quiet, I finally hear it.